Oh. Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4 Episode 12, oh no, 13. Skyfall. I double checked. This is the final episode of the season. I'm like, what? Wait, isn't just like 5 seasons? I believe I saw a trailer for the 5th season. And I'm like, oh, this looks good. Like it just popped up on my YouTube page or whatever. So I'm like, oh, let me check this thing out. You know, like the thumbnail, it looks like it might be good. So I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, this looks good. So I put out a poll, you know, about Bungo Stray Dogs, and the majority of the people that answered the poll were like, yes, watch it. So it's like, that's why I started watching this show. So I'm like close to, oh my goodness. Okay. Last episode, they introduced Sigma, who's another member of the Decay of Angels. He lost his memories. The casino, which was sort of like the bedrock of the Angels, the Decay of Angels plan. They have these coins that sort of like hollow from all over the world that have bombs in it. So they were going to use it to create mass terrorist attacks in different countries, and in the midst of that chaos, that's what they were going to use to write on the second page and create their, I guess, the Eurasia state. I don't know, but that was the plan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And now the detective agency sort of like lured the hunting dogs onto the ship, so that they're thinking that if they help them stop this terrorist attack from happening, then they're gonna believe that they are not actually terrorists. And yeah, but at the end of the episode, Sigma had gave these incentives to the people at the casino, like the clients and everything, that if I believe they said that if they hurt or stab the dogs, the hunting dogs, that they were gonna get a certain amount of money. If they killed them, they were gonna get $10 million or something, or other like that. Or was it 1 million? I don't know. And then they're gonna have their deaths erased. Just basically giving them a whole bunch of incentives so that y'all can go and kill these people. And yeah, so that's what happened last episode. And then Fyodor was saying that Sigma was the most powerful or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know about that one, but yeah. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys are my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/Philemini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. People, you know, as I was watching like the whole thing play out from Tachihara's point of view, I could not help but be reminded of the comment that I read during the episode where they revealed who he was. There was a comment that was basically someone that was super excited for Tachihara to finally be introduced or whatever, I don't know, something. And I couldn't help but feel that person's excitement in this particular episode. Like it just dawned on me why that person was so excited about him, because he's the one. Yes, like he's the one that broke the mold, basically, during the in the government body or whatever, you know. Now he's not seeing himself as a government official. He's seeing himself as a poor mafia member, and that's why that line that Fyodor wrote in the book is not working on him, because the line said all government officials and something. Basically, people that follow the law, okay, should not believe anything. Should not believe in anything other than the detective agency is guilty. Tachihara is now considering himself as a poor mafia member, okay? I don't think he's seeing himself anymore as the hunting dogs, the government official or whatever. And that's why he couldn't bring himself to hurt his friends in the poor mafia, which, yay! I remember that episode where the Tachihara's mannequin or whatever was like sort of slicing, or Tachihara was slicing and dicing Hirosu. I think that's his name. And I asked myself during that episode, like, is he actually dead? Because yes, we saw him being sliced and diced and everything, but it was sort of like in shadow. And I remember seeing that particular moment that we didn't see him actually like, like dying on screen. So I'm like, could he be alive? And I completely forgot about Gin until I started seeing this episode and I saw Akutagawa in the intro, and I'm like, okay, where are you? We haven't seen you at all during this season, and we only saw your sister. And then I asked myself, okay, is the sister alive? Turns out she's alive. And then, like I was saying, ever since it happened, when Kunikida fell out of the airplane, I'm like, he's not dead. When Tachihara pointed a gun at Yosano, and then you hear the gunshot, and then it all went black, I'm like, she's not dead. So it's like, yay! So Tachihara saw the I'm like, okay. They went to the control room or whatever, trying to stop the plane, and then he's entering stuff in the computers or whatnot, and then there's this dossier over here. I'm like, man, it's just right there. I was thinking that these paperwork, whatever the USB key was from Fyodor, because he was acting cocky, like he put something else in the book. I don't know. I was just thinking that it was him. It wasn't until Tachihara started playing the video and it was Asushi. Well, even as he was playing the video, even as Asushi was talking, I was thinking, because of what Fyodor said, that he added something, that this video was gonna be Asushi basically confirming that they are the ones, that they are the terrorists and behind everything. It wasn't until he started saying that, okay, it was the Decay of Angels. I'm like, okay, this is not Fyodor's doing. It's still part of Dazai's plan. But then Fyodor said the line that he said he added that wouldn't, that no matter what the detective agency would do, it wasn't gonna work. Like them aligning themselves with the hunting dogs, it wasn't gonna work because they're never gonna believe that they're innocent or whatever. And then you see Tachihara just like break the thing because his superior was in her ear, in his ears, asking him if anything was wrong. And then he broke it, and then that's when I believe Fyodor revealed what the final thing that he wrote onto the page was, And so I'm like, okay, so he's not gonna believe it. But then they were showing those flashbacks of, Tachihara with the Hiroto and Gin in the hospital. You see them being okay. Him joking with them, and then he's like, do you really think I'm suited to be part of the poor mafia? And he's basically at the essence of being a poor mafia member. Like he's brash, he's all that, And then he was also with the this showed what's his face, Mori as well. And basically telling them that the agency is innocent. And either there's only going to be two choices when it comes to the detective agency. Either they're going to be found innocent or they're going to die. Like there's no middle way. Guilty verdict is not going to work for them. So all of that. And then him now being told by Hiroto that he's basically the essence of whatever, being a poor mafia member, and then all of that just basically sort of like transformed his mind a little bit, and now he's fully accepting being part of the whatever. And then the thing broke, and then he's like, yeah, they're innocent, so now I have to convince the government. And I'm like, well, but how are you supposed to convince the government if that line in the book? In Tachihara's case, I can understand why that line did not work on him, because he's poor mafia. But the others, they are clearly entrenched in being in following the law, So I don't know how he would be able to convince them of anything, unless like, as Sushi said, that they write the thing in the other side of the page, Now, when it comes to Sigma, like I said before, I don't think he's the most powerful. This, I was also asked myself, after they revealed that he was written into existence, after they wrote him on the book, on the page, I'm like, what the freak? Okay. So I'm like, is he because of that? Because he's a product of the page? Because apart from his determination in keeping the casino safe, and his place where he feels like he belongs safe, apart from his determination to do that, I really didn't see what else was so powerful about him, So after he gave the order, like, to the people to go after the agency, I also asked myself in the previous episode whether they were gonna hurt the people there. And I'm like, the government people, they're not gonna be hurting civilians, right? And that's exactly what happened. They ran into this room, right? Then the clients, the civilians came in, and there were this old woman just sitting there, acting like she didn't know anything. At first, my first thought when I saw the woman was that for some reason I thought that before I knew that it was the civilians that came into the room, I thought the hunting dogs were the ones that are coming, and the old lady is also gonna be participating in the attacking them. But then it wasn't until those clients came in and they were asking the old lady, and then she has the same colored hair as whatever her name is, Teruko. She has the same colored hair as Teruko, and I'm like, and then I remembered when she made herself bigger, larger during the previous episode, to stop that plane and everything. So I'm like, wait, she must be the old lady, right? And then she was carrying this case, and I'm like, if she is the old lady, and then Tachihara must be in that case that she's carrying, right? But isn't that case too small for Tachihara? Like, I was doing all that mental calculation, and then it turns out, and then I was asking myself, okay, can she turn? Because she changed her age and all of that, and that's exactly what happened. She changed her age. And she changed the age of Tachihara, made him into such a cute little kid, And that's her ability. She has the ability to change your age, anyone's age, I guess. And when she was asking one of the guard over there about how to stop the thing from doing his thing, she was making... What was she doing to him? I know that she was... I feel like... Clearly she has super strength, right? Was she sort of like trying to crush this guy's throat, but at the same time turn him like he's inside, maybe aging him, so that the pain that the person's feeling as she's crushing him or whatever is getting even more intense and intense and intense until the guy couldn't take it anymore. And that's when he told her about the key and the fact that the manager is the only one that has the key and all of that. I don't know. But either way, she got the information she wanted. They go into the room. Sigma's there. Sigma is like, I'm gonna give you the key. And he threw the key into the air. But then there were these two Gatling guns that just showed up like on both sides of him, just started shooting at Teruko. And Teruko was just like stopping the guns with like bare hands. And then when she sort of like dashed onto the side and then threw something at the guns, at first I thought it was like the bullets that was coming out, like she was collecting them or something, and then she just threw it back at the guns or something. But that would be way too many bullets for her to be holding in one hand or two hands. But either way, it was knives that she threw into the thing. And then at one point, she like broke the wall of the thing. Was holding Sigma, like, sort of like a little bit dangling him over the cliff. Not the cliff, but out. Either way. And they were both talking about determination and all of that. And it's like, Sigma's like, I'm determined. And she's like, she's also determined. And she talked about how the hunting dogs are super strong. Like, they went through all these surgeries from people that have these abilities. And that if they don't go for checkups or something, like every month or something or other, they're gonna rot and die. And I'm like, okay. So that's also a sign of their determination to becoming a hunting dog. So it's like, you got your determination going against my determination. Like, it's like, where are we going? But he was still determined. He's like, okay, I guess if I can't save both me and the casino, then I'm gonna save the casino. And then he just like launched himself into the abyss, trying to drag Teruko with him. But Teruko it's like, okay, there's no way I can save me and him. So she like saved herself. And then as she was falling, Sigma was falling. So she just like and saved him. And I'm like, this is so not what you want. The goal was to work with the hunting dogs to save, everybody, and then prove your innocence, basically that way. But you being seen saving the terrorist, so they're gonna assume that you guys are working together. So I'm like, why did you save him? I'm asking myself that, why did you save him? But then I'm like, Asushi is a good person, so even if you're a bad man and you fall into your death, he's still gonna save you. That's what my reasoning was. But then he actually came out and said that Sigma is the one that knows the location of the page, so they actually need him. So I'm like, oh yeah, there's that I completely forgot about. And it turns out Bungo was on the Asushi brought out his phone, and then Bungo was talking, and he's like, I can glimpse from your memories and stuff. And I'm asking myself, wait, can you do that through the cell phone? But then Sigma's like, he protected himself against his ability, so it's not gonna work. But then I don't know, I don't remember what was said, and then Sigma just basically capitulated. It was like, just give up. It was like, okay, I'll tell you everything that you want to know. I forgot who said what, but he just like, okay, I'll tell you what you know. And then that's when Nathaniel shows up, and then like, I'm like, what the heck? Okay, when they were falling, when Asushi and Sigma were falling, there was wasn't there a cord that was holding both of them together until the cord like cut, and then they fell onto the balcony or some kind, whatever it is that they were, and then they were talking. Who threw that? In my mind, I was thinking it was. I feel like I saw Teruko do that, or am I misremembering? Either way, that happened, and then Sigma was like giving up. Well, that was after Nathaniel shows up and started attacking them and whatnot. So Sigma gave up and was just like falling to his death. And then Bungo told Lucy. Yeah, Lucy. I was trying to remember her name. I remember she mentioned Anne when they were in her room and whatnot. Anne is the big thingy. So Lucy told Lucy to look down. Asushi was there, like he had his tail like wrapped around the thing, and then he was asking Lucy to find a rope and throw it to Asushi, but she's like, "Nah, I can do this." And then she jumped and then used her ability to sort of like transport him and her into her safe space. But then Nathaniel also shows up here. I'm like, okay, how did that happen? And then he apparently there was this blood line thing that was connecting him and Asushi, and that's how he got in there. But then when they were in there, he did something to Lucy where he shot at Lucy, right? And then Lucy's like, no, don't worry, I can capture him or whatnot. And then she captured him. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, did she actually capture him though? Because if there was this sort of like invisible bloodline connection between him and Asushi before Asushi noticed, right? And then Lucy was hurt. Couldn't there be like a bloodline connection between Lucy's wound or whatever and Nathaniel, and then he can use that to sort of like escape from the room that he's been, dragged into? Wasn't that something similar? That I don't remember exactly how Asushi got out the first time around. I know Tanizaki was there and they used his ability as well, but I'm forgetting how he got out the first time around. So yeah, it seems that for now Nathaniel is trapped in there, and then Ungo's just telling them like they failed, like they were supposed to work with the hunting dogs, but Asushi has been seen helping Sigma. They were supposed to capture Sigma and get him to tell them about the page. They think Sigma is fall to his death, but as Sigma was falling, guess who's there? Nikolai. And I kept asking myself, is this dude actually dead? Because he's a jester. He's someone that can, fake killing himself when he's not actually dead. And that's exactly what happened. The guy is not dead. Is anybody actually dying in this show? Oh my gosh. I'm asking myself that. Is anyone actually dying in this show? Yeah, I mean, ask myself that. Did anyone actually die in this show? Oh, apart from, yeah, people died. Just, it's like, this particular season, I guess. Because you're thinking, okay, Hirosu's dead, but he's not. Gin was stabbed. I didn't really think about whether she was dead or not until this particular episode. She's not dead. Kunikida sort of like blew himself up. He's not dead, although we haven't seen him. Yosano was like, we were thinking, they were trying to make us think that she was dead, but she's not dead. Nikolai sort of like cut himself in half, we saw, but he's not dead. So it's like Sigma was falling to his death, but he's not dead. So is anyone actually dying? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What else? I don't think there's anything else. I'm just now glad that Tachihara is gonna be helping us. So thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the first episode of season 5, you can just super check it out my Patreon at patreon.com/philly and you can also see the full one for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. I'm a fighter, so no higher, and a fire, champion.